Hi, Fems. Happy Wednesday. I am Violette Ayala. I'm the founder and CEO of FemCity, and you're joining me today for our Wednesday series. We usually live stream it on Facebook at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but I had a scheduling conflict, and Giselle, my guest, it was better for her also. So we are joining at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are joining us live, we're so excited that you're joining us. If you're catching us on the podcast, feel free to continue the conversation, tag us, and let us know if there's any way that we can help you even further. So today, the conversation is all going to be surrounded by social media and hacks. We know that many of our femmes have stepped into creating a side hustle business. Perhaps they're also diving in a little bit more to the side hustle business and trying to make it a full-time gig. And I invited one of our beautiful femme sisters. She actually runs our Rio Grande Valley chapter. She's one of our directors. She's traveled with me on our retreats. She is one of my favorite humans. Giselle, who's also a social media expert, and she's been featured in Yahoo Finance and Authority magazine or Media magazine. I just saw you featured, Giselle. I can't remember. It's Medium.
Yeah.
Medium magazine, and she is just one of the top branding, image influencers, coaches. And she loves teaching. So I'm so happy that she is joining us today. Thank you so much, Giselle, for being here.
I do love teaching. I do.
I know you
I
do.
like to know all the things because success is at your fingertips, like literally.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
literally in your fingertips all the time.
Absolutely. And so many of our femmes are obsessed with you. They love you've taught a couple classes for FemCity. And most often you get gratitude shout outs when you're not even around. So you have a lot of love from our
I
community.
love you so much, everybody. Oh, thank you so much. That's
Yes.
so kind. So kind.
So I'm going to ask questions that I think our femmes would have. Again, if you're joining us live, feel free to ask questions as well. I'll go ahead and read them out to Giselle. And of course, if you're listening to the podcast later on, feel free to reach out to either myself or Giselle if you have any questions or any way that we can help you. So I think that one of the biggest misconceptions that most femmes share when they are having some challenges with social media, they think that perhaps it's not for them, that maybe social media is for other people, or maybe it's not for, maybe they're older. Yeah, other people, maybe they're older. We do have members that are, I'm going to be 50. So they're in the 50 plus category and they feel,
Favorite.
yeah, so they're thinking this may not be the way for me to go. I really don't know about social media. So my question to you is social media a great marketing tool, even for those that are, they would say to themselves, it's not for me. Would it be good for everyone?
Social media needs to be looked at as a space where 1.8 billion people spend their time today
Yeah.
actively, which means, when you are asking yourself, which if you don't, I want you to do this on a daily basis. If you are somebody who receives money for product, service, consult, whatever it is, if you exchange money for something, if you are in whatever industry to do that, you need people because
Yeah.
people need to buy from you, right? So then when you wake up every day, you need to ask yourself, where are my people? Like, where are they? What are they doing? Where are they hanging out? Where are they spending time? And right now, no one is hanging out in spaces that you would normally hang out in because no one is congregating.
Yeah.
So they are now, that is why we shot up 800,000 active users a day during COVID. That's what happened in social media. So even before, when you were supposed to be building there, building connection, because that's where people are. When you ask yourself, where are my clients? Where are my people? They are watching their grandkids on here. They are making decisions by like, God, I really want a caftan. Let me see. Hashtag caftan. I don't care if you're 70. You know how to do that now.
Yeah.
Like, that is the way that we learned how to use Google, the way that we learned how to use Pinterest and YouTube. We all were like, okay, where do I learn how to make brownies if I don't know how to make brownies? Oh, let me go to Google, recipe for brownies. That was not something 50s, 60s, 70s, 80-year-old women knew how to do. Feels like yesterday, but we learned it.
Right.
Now we are doing that on social platforms. Now we're going to social platforms and going recipe for brownies, boop, like, and you're getting recipes and beautiful pictures and details on what brands to use to definitely to give you like gooey, dark chocolate, healthy, vegan. So, and then you're finding the people who do it the best, who actually are not chefs, are not like, don't have any culinary experience, but they're influencers. There's moms at home who just love making brownies. And then you get to connect with them, you get to share with them. So, yes, like, period. I don't care who you are, it could be a plumber.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Shannon says that she can barely hear you.
Oh,
I
no.
can hear you okay, but do you have headset you want to put on? Do you have them handy? If not, I can hear you, but it must be on the Facebook side that it's not. And I'll just keep on elaborating for those that I can say it again.
I'm gonna try to.
Oh yeah, I can hear you perfectly now.
Is that better?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
Let
ask
us know, Shannon. Yeah, Shannon, let us know if that's better. It's better for me. But I love that you shared that, because again, we have so many members in our community that are 50 plus, and I would say some of them 60 plus, right? That are feeling that they have she says better, that they feel like they've lost that kind of start, that they feel like a little bit delayed in getting to know all this stuff. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. So if you are watching and you're in that age bracket and you're feeling like social media is not for you, you're not going to use it for business development, for business branding, I hope that Giselle has convinced you otherwise, because it's a great way to grow your brand for sure.
You need to be in this space, because if you aren't where people are paying attention, they're not going to find you. So you have to build in a space where there is attention. So you need to be speaking in a way that they are going to receive the message eventually. But if you're not there, you can't even there's no opportunity.
Right.
Get there, you start to create the opportunity, because when people find you, then they do this, that thing with their feet, with their thumb, to research you. And so the posts that never got any attention all of a sudden are part of the research they're doing on making a decision about you.
Right.
So don't ever think that when you're putting something out and you're leading, because please lead by asking yourself, is this a value to one person? If it's a value to one person, that person is going to find it, and then more people who need it will eventually find it.
Yes. And Giselle, Lisa says she can't hear Giselle. I can hear you, so we're going to keep on going. I think it must be a Facebook thing, because I hear her and Shannon hears her, and another Facebook comment also. So I don't know. We're going to keep on going, and hopefully many of you can hear. So, by the way, I think that a lot of our femmes that are feeling a little bit behind in the social media, I feel also that they think that they have to be on every single platform. You and I recently led a class in Pinterest. You and I, meaning more you than me, but we led a class on Pinterest, and that was really great. And I know we've done a lot, or you've done a lot of classes on Instagram. I don't think we've done one on Twitter. Maybe I did do one on Twitter a couple years ago. So we do have classes, and I feel that if you are feeling a little overwhelmed and you're stepping into this space, perhaps you just created a side hustle during this time, or you're stepping into your business even more so. If you're feeling a little bit behind, there are classes for you, and there are ways to go ahead and step into that place. And also remember that you don't have to be on every single platform. So a lot of times I think there's a lot of feelings of being overwhelmed, and not every platform is the place for you. So I wanted to ask you that question, Giselle, because I think a lot of femmes that are feeling that they need to get into all those spaces, and they get really overwhelmed, and they don't know which way to go, and they don't know which direction. What would you say to them to calm them down as far as being in all the different platforms?
This is the thing. We can't do everything anyway. Like, when that thing, that saying about, if you're multitasking, you're actually really not doing anything.
Right.
Same thing on social media. Like, find your hub. My hub is Instagram. Am I doing Facebook? Yes. Am I doing Twitter? Am I doing Pinterest? Am I doing LinkedIn? Yes. But my hub is Instagram. That is where I get the most love. That is where I give the most love. And so you have to find the space where you're committed to, where you're never going to let your following down, where if you're getting love, you're responding. Like, find that one space, right? That you're going to build from there. And then remember that when you're creating engaging content, period, that engaging content is going to resonate. It doesn't matter where you stick it. So a lot of people have this notion that, oh, I can't share this on LinkedIn because it won't be well received. If you're going to share on LinkedIn something that you know brings value to an audience that's there, why wouldn't you? Like, everybody has a ton of opinions. I'm just going to tell you this.
Yeah.
You need to be in a space where those who need you find you. Just pick a space. Don't get overwhelmed because, first of all, yes, there are a lot of platforms. When you get better at the skill on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you decide, then it becomes easier to go across other platforms. It's not as overwhelming. It's going to be overwhelming at the beginning, period, the end, until you create a strategy, until you create a system that feels comfortable to you, that flows into your schedule. Because I don't care who you are. There are people that are great at social media, and they're overwhelmed every day because they're trying to do it on the day of. Like, they're trying to figure out, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? And they do really well, and they have a lot of following, but it's like this really stressful situation. It doesn't have to be. Like, a structure down. Like, I call them pillars. Like, when I teach pillars. Like, let's focus on, what are your pillars? It's kind of like a magazine. I've said this before in the past in some of our teachings, but I'll go back there. Your branding is like a magazine. If you were to get a magazine that had your face on and you were looking through the magazine, you would see all different aspects of who you are, right? It's not just, I'm just a branding coach. No, I'm a branding coach who loves fashion, wears really bold lipstick, is super obsessed right now with peepers, loves to eat, drinks wine when I'm not on a challenge, now is newly into challenge. Like all of a sudden, if you ask yourself, who are you? Like, what do you love? And you start to write down all the things, they're different pillars of your life. Create a good 5, create a 10, and then just follow the system to eliminate and suffocate the overwhelm. So if one of the pillars is lipstick, right? Like, one of the pillars is lipstick. And I go, like, why do I wear it? Well, because I live on Zoom, and when I'm not wearing any makeup, like I am not now, and I stick lipstick on, I don't look like death. That's a post. And that's giving somebody a tip on how to get prepared on Zoom, where we all live, when you're rushing, right?
Yes.
Have close by.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's part of the conversation, or the narrative that many have when they're a little bit apprehensive about stepping forward. I think a couple of things that you mentioned. The first one is not knowing what to post, right? So you're saying to post valuable content, things that actually help others, but it's also about relationship building. So you were saying that you post where you get the most love, and for you it's Instagram, and it's because you're having a relationship with others, you're getting to know them, you're sharing pieces of yourself, and they're sharing also through the comments. And so when you have that anxiety, think about it like Giselle just said, it's really building relationships with other people. It's not just you screaming from the rooftop. It's really just, hey, I'm doing this. How are you guys? I'm wishing you well, or here's my trip. Where do you want to go? Like, creating the conversations that build relationships. So I love that you mentioned that. And I also love that you mentioned that, your pillars, because I think also from what I hear from the femmes, not all femmes, of course, right? Just some femmes that are having a hard time with social media. I feel that they're trying to be somebody else, right? They see someone, they're like, oh, this person has 2 million followers. I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to use the same backdrop. And I think there's just so much anxiety because you're trying to be someone that you're not. And the truth is that some of these, the most amazing accounts that I follow, there's no rhyme or reason to the color scheme it's just like one of my favorite ones is Amy Sedaris. Everything she posts makes me laugh, right? She's hilarious. There's no rhyme or reason to like her designs or whatever. Now, it's strategic, like you were saying. That's the other thing, is thinking out, what you're going to post. You don't have to do it at the beginning. I know I've taken Giselle's classes, so I know this from her. You don't have to do it at the beginning. Just step into that place and then start creating your strategy. By the way, Giselle you actually taught a class for us that you included a social media strategy calendar. And that was so raved about. So I just want to thank you for that.
That's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that was a really great
And
little
anybody
nugget.
who doesn't have it can find it. My link in bio has all the freebies. I have so many freebies there. So just on Instagram, the branding professor, you'll find what you need. Most likely, hopefully,
Yes.
community building, how to strategize a calendar. Yeah.
Love it. All right, so let's talk about hacks for those that are in social media. They're already rocking and rolling. They have their strategy. They've taken all your classes. All right, what are some hacks that femmes can start using when it comes to social media? And I'm going to open it up to any platform. Do I know Instagram is your jam? Like that's where you get the most love.
Love
So if you want to just do Instagram hacks, what are some of these tricks that will help femmes build relationships on social media?
So lately, I'm a little obsessed with teaching, and it's not like I'm using it a lot, but I'm teaching it a lot because I'm teaching people how to use it for nonprofit. I'm teaching people how to use it to show product. And so live Instagram has so many amazing little opportunities. One is being able to use um, uh, bringing up like a grid, like file, not grids, like files, like an image or a picture, and that's how I was teaching somebody about how to use it for product. So like style someone, right? And you take a picture or style yourself, but you're talking. And when you're live on the bottom, there's a little square that you click and it goes into your photo album. So you can have it already ready. So like, let's say you wanted to do a whole thing on styling. Remember, this could be photography hacks. This could be like, think about anything that you
Right.
can basically do a presentation on, but you're doing it live. They're feeling you. It's not rehearsed. You're sticking up the image and you're saying, by the way, these are 5 ways that you can use this hoodie. This is how you dress it up. I dressed it up with a plaid skirt and I stuck some black tights with it. But look, this image, and then the image comes up and your face
So
is
cool.
on Zoom.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
I had no, I saw you post something about it a couple of days ago. You were teaching something and I was like, huh. And I totally forgot until this moment right now. That is awesome.
So let's give an example like with FemCity. So if you were to go up, Violet, and this is one way because there's so many fun ways to use Instagram Live, and I'm going to share them with you right now. But those are going to be the 5 hacks.
Perfect. Bring it on.
Instagram Live, and then I need to do a whole thing on it, which I haven't. But so let's say your global membership is open, right? Because I know that it only opens a couple of times a year. So global membership is open. You do this whole launch series every single day where you're talking about one asset to being a global member. So then you get on and you have images of global members, what they've done with it, how they've grown. Like, and not only are you shouting out global members, but you're giving people like actionable items that they can take when they decide to be a global member, right? The other thing you can do the next time is you can show how to use, like as a global member, how you can become a global teacher. Like, how do you become a global coach? Use FemCity as a platform. As a global member, you can be a global coach. When I'm speaking to media now, which is super, I can't even believe I say that. As a PR, as a publicist in the past, I was never striving to be on the media. And now that I've been in the media, I'm like, I like this. This is nice. This is nice. So when they ask about who are you, right? That is part of who I am. I'm a global coach. I teach globally on FemCity. That is very enticing to them. Like, oh, really? What is FemCity? And then I get to share what FemCity is. So it's an immediate addition to who you are in your bio. So you get to share that. Who has done it? This person has been featured. This person has been featured. Is it an asset? Is it something that brought him in? We don't know specifically, but it didn't hurt. Right? It doesn't hurt. Next day, a whole other aspect, like how do you maneuver the site and what are the different benefits as a global member and as a member? Both of them are great. You're still teaching people, well, at least I can become a member at $9.99 a month. Or you know what? I'm just going to become a global member because you know what? I want a global business. I don't want to just be local anymore.
Right.
It's just every day a reminder.
I love that idea. Yeah.
And you show them visually. You're talking and you're pouring into showing somebody, a global member. then I'm so like StreamYard is like so different than Zoom. I'm
I
like,
know. It always throws you off because you're like here, and then you have to kind of center.
I know, I'm
So
like,
I love that you're sharing that, because I think if you had just said that, okay, you can do the images and you can bring them up when you're doing your Instagram live, which I love Instagram live too. I love that you mentioned FemCity as a service option, because I think a lot of people would be listening like, oh, that's only for product. That's only if you have a visual. But the reality is you could do it with testimonials. You can do it for projects if you're an interior designer. You can do it with, if you're a yoga instructor, I always use a yoga instructor example. You can do different poses, your different students that are doing it. So I love, love, love that tip. I'm going to try it out. It's always awkward when you try it out, by the way.
I love it. I love it because people who are so enthusiastic about what they do, when they're really passionate and they got out of their head about what do I look like, what do I sound like, and they're in. So use live so people can feel what you're about and hear your expertise. But it's a little bit like, it's a little safer because you're that big on it in the corner, and the images are popping up that shows people you know your stuff.
I love that.
It can be about like a garden in your backyard. Like, how do people grow their own herbs? Tell them what brands you absolutely love, show them the soil, and then do a lead magnet, a lead page with a link that sends people over to get the recipe for building their little garden in the backyard. What does that do? You guys are building email lists. If you build an email list in that way, they get you, right? Like, oh, God, I really love that. Oh my God, what was that list? I got to go back and hear it. No, I just click here and I get it. But you get an email list. So I just learned recently that if you're active with your email list, so if you're pouring love into your email list, it is worth $1 an email. So over time, those emails that are active only will equate to $1 a month per email, which means if you are pouring into them and you have something that allows them to get value, and then you give them an offer once a month, it could be small, big, the percentage will turn into where the statistic is $1 an active email.
That's great. And you have some love. Yeah. So an excellent point. So we have Facebook user. We don't know your name, so I'm just going to say Facebook user, but she says, excellent points, Giselle. You have someone that said nice lipstick. Yeah, awesome. And if you guys have any questions, we're wrapping up. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and post. Of course, you can continue the conversation later on. Giselle, maybe we have time for one more hack. What's another good hack? You already mentioned, by the way, Instagram Live. I know you didn't mention that specifically. You were talking more about the image, but I think Instagram Live, you gave a really good hack on just using it because it shares your energy, your vibe. People buy from people they love and trust. The Instagram image that you can start adding to your Instagram Live series or episodes.
Can I give you more on live? Because there's so many.
Yeah.
Really, you know what? I need to do a class on Instagram Live because I'm so into it right now because of the opportunity. Like, so much opportunity on Instagram Lives right now. But the other one is, did you know that they could ask questions and you can pull up the questions onto Instagram Live?
So if I'm interviewing you and we are vertical and we're on top like this, the questions come up on the feed, or you're saying they come up?
No. So you could be not interviewing anybody, right? But you're like, I'm going to go on and I'm going to do a Q&A about anything you want to know about me. Like, so Violette, the founder of FemCity, anything you want to know. So your team, they put out a whole like launch series, and you're going to come out and you're going to answer all Q&A. They can, so that what you would say is, on the bottom, there's a little box with a question. You click the question, type in your question, and it will all populate into an area that I can click and see all the questions. Pick one.
Oh.
So anybody who comes in late and you're talking, they can start to connect the dots because you're talking about the question that is on the live screen.
Got it.
Yeah. So then you go back into the little question mark. It's a little square on the bottom. You click it and you go to the next question, and you go to the next question. And it's just like, how amazing is that? Or have your team, and this is for people who are like, what if nobody asked me a question? I got you, boo. This is what you do. You have somebody help you. So your kid, right? They go in with another account or whatever, and they ask the question so it populates that you've already, like for me, if I go up and I'm like, I'm not going to wait to see if anybody has any questions, right? But I know the top pain points that people have in their 50s and 60s to start Instagram. I feel so overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel stupid. Like, what if I say something that people like make fun of me? And like, there's a lot of, the list goes on, privacy. Anyway, the list goes on and on. I have answers for all that. Not like, and it's just, there is a way, and I can list those ways, but the questions, I can already have them populated in a way that would be exactly how my core client would ask it. So
love it.
Question comes up. Somebody who is like, oh my God, that's me. She gets me. She gets me. That's me. They're a warm lead now.
Yeah. Love that. So, Giselle, we are out of time. I love all those tips. I'm actually going to attempt to do it next Tuesday. We have an Instagram live series every Tuesday. So I'm going to try to do it next Tuesday, see what I can accomplish.
I love it.
How can femmes find and connect with you in case they do have further questions?
I am the branding professor on Instagram, and that's the easiest way. I live there, and if I am busy and I turn off my notifications, I don't go to bed without checking to see if there's any messages, because I take it very seriously. I want everyone who needs me, for you to know that it matters to me. I also want to tell you that I have a 5-day workshop completely free to talk about all things Instagram branding. So if you are my 50, 60-year-old who is having a little bit of a problem, I'm going to be speaking to you, not to people who are super savvy on Instagram. They can go to the people that, can teach. I love teaching people how to step into their magic on social platforms. That is my jam. That is what I'm obsessed with, to see you be successful on social media. So we're going to be talking all things Instagram, super, super beginners, but also things that you can implement right now that even a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know those. And I would consider myself someone who, I love stepping into that space over and over. Those are things that I did not even know about Instagram.
But you don't do it for a living, so why would
you?
Oh,
yeah.
And that's what I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
You could be so savvy on social media, but not know all the little tools and gadgets. I don't even know all of them all the time. That had already been out for 6 months, and I didn't even know about it because I didn't say, what are the updates right now, which I should monthly, but I sometimes need too.
And it changes every day, by the way. It changes. I feel like every day there is some sort of, if you're feeling a little bit lost, I think it's just all day, every day, things are always being added. So Giselle, add that to our Facebook members group, because I bet you a lot of femmes could use that program that you're launching. So make sure that you post it over there. So anyway, this was great. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined us live or watching the replay or catching us over on the podcast later on. We invite you to check out FemCity.com and of course connect with Giselle. And we hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much. See you back next week.